champs in rugby, 2007. The ball used in that game. Hey guys. Football team that has set all sorts of records. Sitting in the Xavier case. Son Patrick in there. Okay, this is the soccer team that won the Catholic State Championship. Mr. Walker.
Or not the risk, but sort of the unexpected part of this level. And we were lucky when we had this one guy show up that he stood out from everybody that was out there, mostly for his red hair, but also because of his skill level. So I want to call Jack Kane up. Our most improved player actually isn't here tonight, but you might as well recognize him. His name is Connor Bulger. So he's seen in the hallway. He's a guy that really this year just stepped up for us, and every game in the beginning of the season it seemed like he was pushing 4 or 5 goals a game. So for Mark Frontier, he is our MVP. Our last coach's award actually isn't here tonight as well, and that's Alex Judy. So if you see him around, we congratulate him.
There you go.
This evening we also have a special award for the JV soccer team. They achieved something this year that was unprecedented in Xavier's history. It's the first JV soccer team ever to win intersectional championships, and that includes the Archdiocese of New York, all the schools in the Archdiocese, and all the schools in the Brooklyn Queens Diocese as well. So we have special plaques made up for them, and I'd like to present that to them at this time.
Soccer, Coach Wayne Atherton.
Good evening. First of all, thanks for out again to Mr. Bird, Balzano, JV team for taking the city championship. Okay, the season was really successful in one point that the first time in Xavier history we beat Malloy. That one win will have a great impact and carry over to the following season, because for Malloy in the past 20 years we probably won around 12 city championships, and they were the champions last year also. So that'll give our fellows a lot of confidence next time we go to Malloy and play them, that we say, we beat you last year, we do it again. Is also named the MVP of the varsity soccer team.
Also plays rugby pretty well. Good job, kiddo. for your mom.
Guys in the back, if I could ask you to please keep it down just so everyone can hear what's going on here. At this point, I'd like to introduce our two bowling coaches, Ms. Jessica Garcia and Mr. Justin Fong.
Very great season for us. Coming after a season last year of winning the city championships, this year was a new start for a lot of new players. We had a tremendous amount of talent and new people coming into the program, which was great, and we enjoyed it a lot. The JV team, the whole point of the whole season was that they had 5 comeback behind wins, and in the playoffs against Florida Prep, after losing the first game by 130 pins, they came back and won the second game by 170 pins to advance to the city championships. For our first award, his performance on the lanes the entire season improved as every match went along. If you look at him at first, you would not think that he's a freshman. You would think he's mostly a senior, just the way he leads and the way he acts and he treats his fellow teammates. He's the smallest player of the team, and you wouldn't think he was old. And so the Coaches Award goes to Joe Klein. Our JV MVP goes to a player where he came to the season, he has a lot of talent, a little unfocused at the beginning, but at the very end he focused well enough to perform remarkably in the playoffs, averaging a 174 throughout the whole playoff series. The MVP of JV goes to Frank Shambari. With varsity was a tremendous season. We lost a lot of players last year, but a lot of new players from the JV team came up to fill the varsity roles and perform remarkably. They had a tough playoff series, but they managed to get through every step in a very national and respectful way. In their match against Salesian, they bowled against absolutely the best bowlers I've ever seen. And they held their own and they defeated them and moved on to the city championships. Our first award goes to, our most improved player award goes to a player who at the beginning of the season was kind of unfocused. He improved so much last year that he deserves this award tremendously. This award goes to Mike Trezino. Our next is tremendously. This award goes to Michael Kay. They're happy to see he's starting a new life. He is a tremendous player, averaging over 200 in all his playoff games at Xavier. He has improved tremendously as a person, as a player, and as a leader. This year's Blocks X and MVP award goes to Frank Finn. Thank you very much.
.200 average is phenomenal.
Coach Kuffel, you hear me?
Swimming and diving.
Okay, that's good. All right, first I'd like to introduce the other coaches who coach with me. Dennis McCall, Xavier graduate class of 97. Mark Anderson, and John Militano, Xavier class of 99. Lloyd, St. Francis Prep, and Monsignor Fowler. 7 of the freshmen
disposition, diligent in his attendance and practice, versatile, does whatever you ask him to do, usually doesn't whine, usually. But this year, the Freshman Coaches Award goes to Christopher Stokes.
Good job, kid.
On the freshman team, we have 2 Outstanding Swimmer Awards. We couldn't differentiate between either of these 2 guys. Both of them had excellent freshman seasons. They were 2 of the best swimmers in the league. They both moved up to the varsity level and both were integral parts of the varsity team. They got fantastic futures at Xavier. We're going to be able to build a team around them as they get older. Good dispositions, tireless workers, can't wear them out in practice. 2 outstanding swimmers on the freshman team, Patrick Kilgallen and Robert Palestro. When they meet me, they come on the subway, we kind of go our separate way, we practice right after school. If there's anyone here that knows about a pool in Manhattan or anywhere reasonably commutable to Xavier, we're going to keep St. Francis, but we're looking for more days a week. If anybody knows of anything, I never know who I'm talking to, someone might know something that's available after school, because we can't meet at 9 o'clock at night to practice. Please come to the bigger rosters of the team in the school. Second place in the league. This was the plaque that we won.
Varsity team in second place in the Catholic High School League.
Our only loss was to St. Peter's. Our league record was 7-1. We were 7-4 overall. There's certain qualifications that are set for the boys to make the A championships. Out of the 50, 30 boys qualified for the A championships, which was quite an accomplishment. Now, did I miss anybody? Try to take attendance. Anybody here that didn't call your name? You see the way he deals with the other kids? The other boys have a lot of respect for him. He's probably our strongest butterfly. We had to do the IM this year. He's one of the few boys that qualified for the finals in the A championships. Coaches Award, Michael Scala. Next Coaches Award goes to a senior. This boy is the perfect player to coach. We often got embarrassed because I would tell the other swimmers, if you want to make me happy, act just like him. Over Christmas, we practiced a couple of days. This boy actually took the railroad down from a family trip up in Connecticut to come to practice, then went back to Connecticut afterwards on the railroad. He knows what I'm talking about. He's a wonderful guy to coach. Xavier should be proud of him. Coaches Award, James McElroy. No, he's good, because even when I brought up what a goody he was, the kids never made fun of him. They knew he was, even the boys liked him. All right, the next Coaches Award. This boy was a pleasant addition to the team this year. He has an unusual ability to psych up the rest of the team. It's not a derogatory term for me to say he was almost like the team mascot. The boys loved him. But something that he was very good at what he did. He was a diver. All right, it was amazing. Every time the diving coach asked him to do something, he was able to do it. No questions asked. Coaches Award, a freshman, Frankie O'Sullivan. You can tell by the reaction that he's a team favorite. One of the boys, unfortunately, is not here tonight. He's only a sophomore. He's one of our strongest swimmers. He pretty much can swim anything. Okay. All right, he pretty much can swim any event just as fast or faster than anybody else on the team. Another boy that's a tireless worker. Pretty much this year we had him into the distance freestyle events, but he pretty much can swim anything we want him to do. One of the Outstanding Swimmers Award this year goes to Ryan Doherty. He's not here. His mother is here, though. We're giving award to his mother. who won this trophy up again as the outstanding / MVP swimmers of the team. They're both seniors. Two of them were our captains. James McElroy was one of our other captains. All right. One of them was predominantly our freestyle sprinter. Fast swimmer, hard worker, diligent in his attendance at practice, set a good example, good role model for all the Western swimmers. He's going to be sorely missed. Great kid to be around, easy to work with. Outstanding swimmer, Jeremiah Hansen. Our last outstanding swimmer award, MVP award, another senior, hard worker, good swimmer, came back from the knee injury, was kind of hurt his junior year, came back, worked very hard this year, did the butterfly for us, did the 200 freestyle, was one of our fastest sprinters, pretty much could do anything except to swim breaststroke because of his bad knee. MVP, outstanding swimmer award, Ryan Furlong. All right, 2008, 2009, Xavier swimming. Here they are. Thank you.
I definitely have to thank Coach Mark Curley, who's off to the side here. It's been a pleasure working with him the past few years. He's been a good mentor and a friend, and I definitely could not have done it without him. Also got to thank Xavier alum, who's not with us tonight. He couldn't make it down. Ryan Warner, he helped us out. He was home from college for winter break, so he was helping us out while he was home. So I owe Coach Curley and Coach Warner a huge debt of gratitude. Next thanks goes out to all the parents. All our parents have been great all year. We really appreciate that. We definitely expect a lot from our players and their families. Traveling, practicing over the break, so they've been more than great all year for us.
I know.
As far as our season goes, I have to say a little bit of ups and downs, a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but each and every one of our players have to be proud of their effort from the beginning to the end. We actually started back in November running stairs right over to the right over here, doing push-ups here in Hurtado, so it all started here a little while ago. I'm sure they remember that fondly. But from that point all the way through to the playoffs, to our last nail-biter of the game, they worked hard, and they have to definitely take pride from that. There were definitely some memorable moments in between that. We had some big wins early against LaSalle and Clancy. Despite having a little bit of a rocky start, the turning point was pretty much halfway through the season. Big win against Iona Prep. After that, we went on to win 6 of our next 8 games. And that included 2 wins against Regis in 1 week. So that was a highlight of the season. Like I said, we won 6 of 8 during that stint. That was a great part of the season. But even in our defeats, these players really showed a lot of heart. All right, that was a fact. In the end, we lost a total of 4 games by just 1 point. So a lot of tight games, including Parkland overtime.
They won 15.
But they worked hard. They listened all year. I know we pushed them hard, but I know they had a little fun along the way as well. They learned a lot. So you see the improvement by the season. So as far as that goes, it's a huge success this season. At this point, I'm gonna bring up all the guys before we do the awards. So you hold your applause to the end. I'm sure that usually is. The first one is MVP, and this year is especially tough. Just pick one, as you know, each of these players really brought something different to the table, which is a great thing on the court, but difficult with selecting awards. So we actually have 2 MVPs this year. First guy I'm going to talk about, he brought athleticism, toughness, and definitely a sense of leadership to the court. One of his best games was against Iona Prep, where he showed his competitive nature. He's focused, he plays 3 sports. He's definitely going to be a success here at Xavier, inside and outside the classroom. He's definitely an impressive young man. This year's first MVP award goes to Brent Scarpini. And now our next MVP.
He led us in scoring with just over 10 points a game. He was our only player to average double digits. He's also an honor student, just like Brett. Definitely a basketball junkie. I'm sure he's upset he's missing the NCAA tournament games right now. He's a gym rat, and his passion for the game and his work ethic will definitely take him a long way. His skills on the offensive end kept us in a lot of games, especially his season-high 23 points in overtime against Florida Prep. He definitely improved defensively as well, which I hope he keeps up in the future. Our other co-MVP is Henry Love. Something we preached about all season to these guys was defense. And this player definitely provided that huge defensive spark off the bench. He came in as a player who usually got most of his points in transition, but he worked on his shooting all season, something that we emphasized with him. He definitely showed his development in our home win against Regis. He had some big plays, a couple three-pointers, and the crowd ended up chanting his name at one point, which I'm sure he enjoyed. He definitely took instruction and criticism well, and that really showed on the court. Our most improved player is Armand Burke. And definitely the rest of the team followed his lead in terms of effort and intensity on the defensive end. He's a pleasure to coach. I'm fortunate to be coaching in rugby right now. He's another three-sport athlete, and our Coaches Award goes to Danny Donahue.
Tap it.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody. Make it short. They told me there's a lot of people. Let's make it short. So thanks for all the help. Parents, thank you. Administration, thank you. Good. Guys. Ryan Alexander.
Unbelievable. Most of his team is missing because they're at other sporting events.
Coming into this season, my expectations were very high. They struggled on the freshman level. Everybody was telling me, well, they're not that good. I said, wrong. They're returning to me. They're coming to me bigger, stronger, and a bit more mature, with an understanding of what Xavier basketball is all about. And they learned that under the direction of freshman coaches Curley and O'Hara. After losing our opening game with against a very strong All Hallows team, we had a 10-2 record for the first half of the season. The only other loss that we had was to Florida at the buzzer. We had two tough losses, one to Nazareth at the buzzer again, and one to Iona in overtime. We struggled down the stretch, but we put ourselves back on track with a big win over Stepinac, heading into the playoffs. In the playoffs, we defeated Iona in the first round and lost to Bishop Ford by 5 points, to a team we lost to during the season by 30. I felt we had them beat. We just couldn't hit that open shot to put them away. And to their credit, they did not miss a foul shot down the stretch. We ended up with a division record of 6-2, a league record of 11-6, and an overall mark of 16-7. First is the Coaches Award. This player was a pleasure to coach. He worked as hard as anyone on the team, always had a positive attitude, took over the point guard position, and ran the team with confidence in his ability and confidence in his team. John Evans. Most improved. This player worked hard during the offseason, and it showed. He was our go-to guy on the inside, ending up our second leading scorer, and on defense, he was a force in the middle. Yes, he won the most improved last year, and believe
varsity coaches, Ben Ham and Nigel Coach. On the right. So though we were returning starter this year from last season, we started out a bit slow, but we came on very strong at the end. We finished up the last 17 games 10-7. We improved as much as any team I've ever had at Xavier. Regardless of the score, the boys always played hard, they played with passion, and they played together. Once again, we participated in the Coaches vs. Cancer Shootout at Manhattan College and contributed $2,000 to the $40,000 donation to the American Cancer Society. I'd like to thank all who contributed. We had great league wins over Regis, Spelman, Fordham Prep, LaSalle, Stepinac, and St. John's Prep. We finished third in the division and won a first-round playoff game versus St. Edmunds. Chris Coyne and Eddie Sullivan were voted All-Division by the CHSAA coaches. Chris and George Adams represented Xavier in the CHSAA Senior Classic at Fordham University. I commend all the boys for their positive attitude, their tireless effort, and most importantly, their commitment to team goals. I'd like to introduce the players, and please hold your applause till the end.
Joe Calabrese was just thanked. I hope he's here.
Our most improved player award this year goes to a player who jumped from the JV to the varsity level mid-season and changed the dynamics of the team. He did so well, he was voted to the All-Division team. This year's most improved player award goes to Eddie Sullivan. The Coaches Award this year goes to two players who led the team with their leadership skills both on and off the court. One contributed with his offensive skills, the other with his defensive skills. But I'm most impressed at how they've both matured over the last 4 years. And this year's Coaches Awards go to Stephen Oliver and Tommy McNoble. Richie, can you help me out? Goes to a player who was a 2-year varsity starter, team captain. He averaged 15 points a game and scored 382 points this season. He scored 20 more in 70 games and had 37 threes. He's a two-time All-Division player, and he will represent the Borough of Manhattan at the annual Wheelchair Classic All-Star Game on April 13th. And this year's Most Valuable Player Block X Award winner is Chris Coyne. In closing, I'd like to thank all the parents for the support throughout the year, especially Steve Oliver and Ed Coyne for all the help with the boys in the outside leagues. And we have a gift for the seniors. Thank you.
We've got 2 teams to go. We're still under 2 hours. Just to put this into some context, I was talking to Mr. Stevens last week. His daughter's fencing kid, it was 4 hours. So we'll get you out of here way before that, we promise. Okay? 2 more to go. I'd like to introduce our wrestling coaches. Julio Strong, John McKay.
Okay, just to start off, I'd like to start off by thanking the administration for their support. I'd like to thank Father Gaddy, Mr. Walker. Special thanks to Mr. Pelosi for doing a great job this year. In the absence of Mr. Walker, we're very happy to have Mr. Walker back. I'd also like to thank our headmaster, Mr. Levigny. Right on top of that, I'd like to thank all the parents who have supported the team throughout the year. Going to a wrestling tournament is not the easiest thing. They can go anywhere from 8 hours to sometimes even 12. And sitting in the bleachers is the most pleasant thing in the world. So thank you parents for your support, for being there for us throughout the whole year. It's very important. This season we started out not so strong, but towards the end of the season we picked up a little bit, and we ended the season with an 8-7 record. However, 4 of those 7 matches that we lost were by less than 4 points, which means we could have actually been 12-3. But you know how the saying is, coulda, shoulda, woulda, and we didn't. What really makes me happy is this. We only have 3 seniors on the team. They're going to be very missed. Everybody else is coming back. Even our junior varsity wrestlers have had significant varsity experience. When somebody gets sick, somebody gets hurt, we bump them up, no questions asked, and they do very well. So I'm really looking forward to next year's season. I know that all our wrestlers will be working hard this summer, and our assistant coach, John Ricedo, who went to NYU, just a little history on him. He was the last Catholic school state champion we had here at Xavier High School. Came to Xavier High School, graduated in the class of 1999. And I want to thank John also for his support throughout the year. Thank you, John. So without further ado, I want to introduce the rest of the team. We'll start with our junior varsity wrestlers, Vincent Martirano, Andrew Napper, Mike Pendergast, Anthony Martirano, Greg Sergione, Anthony Morano, Francesco Piccione, Mike Amato, Patrick Nielsen, Dylan Quesada, Donovan Fuentes, Joe Vitale, Patrick Erickson, Joel Torres. Okay, pretty sure I got everything. Start out with our first award. It's a Junior Varsity Award. This award is going to go to sorry, I got one of the cards mixed up. Give me 1 second. Okay, our first award goes to a wrestler who pretty much is there all the time. He never misses practices. He's there every Saturday morning when we have practices at 8 o'clock in the morning. Never complains. And he pretty much made it through the whole season, and with his head up. You know, he didn't start off strong, but towards the end of the season, he's gotten better, and I can see him getting better every day, pretty much. So our first award is a coach's award. It goes to Andrew Natter. Second award goes to a wrestler who is also very consistent in practice. And he pretty much cheers up the whole team. Always has a smile on his face, you know, always has his head up as well. The Team Spirit Award this year will go to Vincent Wang, who did not make it here. Most Improved Wrestler Award goes to a wrestler who, in the beginning of the season, I feel he didn't take the season very seriously in the beginning. You know, after he lost a couple of matches, he came up to me and he said, Coach, he says, I want to get better. What do I need to do? I said, well, you need to come to every single practice, Saturdays, everything. You'll do much better. He said, Coach, I promise you, from this day on, I will not miss a practice. And he did not. And he ended up being the junior varsity city champion for the CHSAA. And that's Paul Barretto, who's not here today. And our final junior varsity award goes to a wrestler who lives about an hour and a half away from here. Always here. Saturday mornings, 8 o'clock in the morning we have practice, and he's there at 7:30. Never complained. I put him at 140 pounds. I put him at 145 pounds. Never said a word. Said, yes, Coach, no problem. All he wants to do is learn. And I know that he's going to be really good if he keeps this up. The most valuable wrestler award goes to Michael Pendergast for Junior.
Nice. Okay. Okay, Mom.
Team Spirit Award for varsity level will go to a wrestler who has wrestled for me for 4 years, wrestled for the school for 4 years. He's done it all. You know, he's been at every practice. He's bled, he's sweat. He's gotten hurt at times with the team, but he always kept coming back. And the team really looked up to him all 4 years. And he's going to be very, very well missed. This team spirit award goes to Francesco Piccione. Most improved wrestler award goes to Most improved wrestler award goes to a wrestler who has wrestled 3 years for me, and he's done a great job. Just an inspiration to the team, never gives up. A lot of people have underestimated him. Many times that he stepped on the mat, you know, they think, hey, you know, this kid, I'm probably going to kill him, you know, he's not that great. And he ends up coming up on top every time. Like I would say out of 30 matches he wrestled, he won about 22 of them. A lot of times I would bump him up the weight class, never complained, he'd do it, and he would still come through for the team. This year's most improved wrestler award goes to Patrick Nielsen. Coach's award goes to 2 wrestlers this year. One's a senior, one's a junior. The senior's a 4-year wrestler. Showed his dedication, wrestled for 4 years, and he's gotten a lot accomplished, including being on honor roll at school consistently throughout his 4 years. Those of you who are parents of wrestlers know how stressful it can be, and it's tough. You know, going to wrestling practices and going home after you're exhausted and have to concentrate on schoolwork. He's managed to do that all 4 years. Always coming back, always there when the team needed him. So our first coach's award goes to Michael D'Amato. Next coach's award will go to a junior who's a true sportsman and leader. Always learns from his mistakes, never blames anybody else. Makes a mistake, he's like, Coach, my fault, I know I did it. And the team really looks up to him. He has good character, and he doesn't complain. You know, he admits to what he does and heads up and continues going forward. This year he had 28 wins, and he's in the running to break the school record of 117 wins. Right now he has 88 career wins. All he has to do next year is win 29 matches. And he will break the school record. He won 28 this year, so it's not impossible. Coach's award goes to Donovan Quinton.
Let's interview Mom.
Okay, most valuable wrestler award goes to one of the hardest working wrestlers I have ever coached. Hands down. I've had some guys who have wrestled tough, never give up, just go all out. I've never coached anybody like this one person. He just does not stop. He's like a machine. And he's earned the respect not only of his teammates, but his opponents. He's extremely intense, and you'll often find him running sprints after a 2.5-hour grueling practice, wrestling practice, on his own. If he keeps this up, there's nobody who's going to be able to stop him next year, which makes me really happy. He's only a junior, he's coming back. He has a 41-7 career record. And next year, I expect him to go undefeated. And hopefully he will be the next state champion after John in about 8 years. This year's most valuable wrestler award goes to Andrew Morales. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming down. And I think one of the wrestlers want to say a couple of words. But thank you all for coming here and supporting us.
Patrick Nielsen. These boys are some of the most dedicated and passionate athletes I've ever seen in my entire life. They put their heart and soul into practice every day, and it shows. Third, I'd like to thank our coaches, assistant coaches, assistant coach John Jacob, and head coach Julio Chacon. John is a Xavier alumni, like Julio mentioned. He wrestled for Xavier for all 4 years. He was state champion. He comes to practice as often as he can and teaches us as many things as he possibly could. It is evident that he wants us to succeed, and for this I thank him. Julio also has a history with Xavier. He started coaching here in 1994 and has continued to coach here for the past 14 years. I want to thank Julio for coaching me and giving me one of the best experiences I've ever had. I cannot repay you for all you've done for us, but the wrestlers and parents offer this small token of appreciation and hope that it's enough. Thank you.
Their last team for the night, varsity hockey, Coach Al tomorrow.
Stand that gentleman over there, Colonel Campbell. I think the Colonel put 4 miles on these vehicles coming out of our games and everybody else. Thank you for your support and continued cooperation. Before the season started this year, I had no idea what to expect. We had a great pool of kids coming back with a lot of talent, but we knew we were going to be in a very competitive division, and competitive it was. We finished third in our conference behind number 1 seed Holy Cross and number 2 seed St. Joe's by the Sea. We finished our season overall with 14 wins, 9 losses, and 2 ties. We must be doing something right because it seems like all the A-level teams want to play us. We started out the season with a scrimmage game against the eventual winner of the A division who went to the state championship game up in Buffalo on Senior Farrell, and we lost 6-1. For us, I thought it was a moral victory. We turned around, took 3rd place in the division, wound up beating St. Joe's by the Sea in the semifinals, which happened to be an exciting 2nd game where we went to a shootout. And our sophomore forward, Tommy Farrell, won the game for us on a beautiful picture play. For the 2nd year in a row, our team went to the city championship playoff round. This year it wasn't as exciting as the prior year, but we gave it our best and we gave it a good fight. We got swept by Holy Cross in 2 games, but the design, the output, the performance was what I would describe as relentless, and that was the best word I could pick to describe this group of players. I want to call the players up. Freshman Dennis Tooney, looking forward to next season, and hopefully maybe grab that gold ring. I just want to say a special thanks to my coaches, Bobby Barron and Scott Erickson, and to our team statistician, Stan Topolewski. Our most improved player award goes to 2 kids that made a tremendous difference from 1 year to the next. Junior defenseman Brendan Bede and junior goaltender Bob Lopez. Team Spirit Award goes to 2 players who showed the most marked desire I ever seen out of 2 kids.
Anytime you wanted something extra, these two kids gave the extra yard. Team Spirit Award goes to juniors Dominic Brennan and Donald Moore. This was an easy pick for us. There was no defenseman in the division that played with the ability and performance level of this young man. Our defensive coaches award goes to Sean Murphy. Our offensive coaches award goes to a young man who never seems to stop. I think his legs move faster than his mind and any other part of his body. Our offensive coaches award goes out to Steve Garland. Once again, it goes out to two people. Two people who seem to have chemistry between themselves that just rubbed off on the rest of the team. It was two kids going out there playing together on a line and just made things happen. If there was a word to describe some kind of song and dance, these two guys had it. Our Block X Award winners go out to senior Mike Piagioni, who's not here tonight. He's up for nationals with his junior team. And our sophomore forward, Joe Gilhooly. Last thing I want to add is I know several of our players are going to be recognized in all city selections. They will receive their awards at our own hockey dinner when we hold it sometime in late April or early May. Just want to say thank you again to everyone. And thanks for sticking around. This was easy. I didn't have to scream for one way or back.
Show me the, let's see. Okay, here he is. Okay, so let's see the actual trophy.
Well, I didn't get this.
I want to get the names on the back of it. Understood.
I didn't get this. Cabrera is not.
This is the coach.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So wait, half these guys are good?
There's one of those guys. He's on the top of the trophy.
I don't know what.
Okay, we want you to get that next year. Let me see the names. Hold on. Who's on here? Oh, John's on here twice. He's on the front and the back. Here he is. Francesco, we're going to miss you, buddy.
Thanks, man.